Yo. What's the word?
Yes.
All you saying?
We are back.
All you saying? Share the life.
Still top of the league, you know.
Let me say, already, Four
Yeah,
games.
before we go into that, there, let's get some people on the live, man. Let's get some people on the live, you know. Share the live. Yeah, boy, football, boy. I haven't been able to catch up much Champions League now. My team not in it, but even if they were there, they would have made the job there busy.
Boy, not you
Yeah.
alone. Not you alone. I barely catch anything. Today I get a little free up a little on the side there, but this week has been weak.
Yeah. So
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, when you in Americas,
yeah,
corporate Americas,
I
that's
just
what you have to do.
to show out the merch, you know.
But you can even see that your camera thing.
Yeah, you see that ice cream
Flip,
cone.
flip, flip it, flip it upside down. The other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I see the hat, you know.
Tuck the
The hat.
thing, bucket hat.
Yeah, man. And you can customize it still, you know, for the people that are interested, you know.
What colors we have?
Boy, we have more colors than the Labour Party, my brother. Just red,
Labor,
all kind of
Labor, 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 Labor Party is one color. Last I check.
thing.
Last I check is one color. So
Yes, I Gali. Bless up. Thanks for tuning in, bro. As always, you know already.
share the live.
Share the live. Yeah. So, fellas.
Gali yet. Hammer himself close. Yeah.
Boy, are you saying, Brad? Yes, sir.
Yes, my brother.
Boy, we'll talk about that, man. We'll talk about. I hear the helicopter going Carrington today, so that might be the dreaded vote of confidence that man get there today there. But we'll see what's going on. So there's plenty of topics to talk about, man. But let's not start on United. You know, let's start. We'll get back to United because we always seem to talk a little bit on United.
Well, that's the biggest talking point there.
Boy,
Do good, do bad. Well, then again, we haven't been doing good for a while. But
and then every player that leaves us appears to find this kind of magical foreman hitting bangers and
we don't just say we're not talking about United.
boy.
Even the man called Onana had a man of the match performance in his first game in Turkey.
And he caused them to lose. With his mistake.
That's all right. Mistakes happen.
So what?
Yeah, but anyway, we'll get to that.
So let's start with the first game from the weekend. The first game from the weekend was Arsenal playing Forest. Poch at Forest after Nuno has been Nuno was sacked.
Ange.
Not Poch, Ange, sorry. Ange was at Forest, new manager. After what's his name? Nuno was sacked. Arsenal won that game 3-0.
Dead rubber game, man. Forest gonna change manager in a few weeks, I believe.
You checking that?
Yeah, that's not a good match.
With the players they have, right?
Yeah.
Unless Ange show he can change his philosophy.
He didn't show it at Tottenham. I don't think he'll show it here.
It might very well cost his job.
He changed it in the final against us.
That game against Arsenal was a nice kick about with the boys for Arsenal. That was
yeah. It was no real test. Noni Madueke did well though. Played well. On the right way. They won the Arsenal. You know.
Noni Madueke even being mentioned as one of the signings of the summer. Imagine that.
Yep.
And they had a petition.
Yeah.
Saying they don't want him. But
so what the Arsenal fans saying about Madueke now? I see that some Arsenal fans in the chat there. What are you saying about Madueke? And listen, I know I haven't said it in a while. We haven't said it in a while, but we're always willing to, you know, if anybody want to come on and share their views, we're open to that, you know. You know, call us.
You share the link.
No, once they say that, if they're interested, just send the message and we'll share the link. We'll share the link. We'll let you guys come on with us. Matter of fact, you know what? As you say that they're gonna share the link. As you say that there, let me not be bougie about it. We're gonna share the link. If you guys want to come on with us, I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Pour him out.
Yeah.
How was the next game on the docket there?
So the next game on the docket was Bournemouth playing Brighton. Bournemouth won that game 2-1. 2-1. You had Scott and Semenyo with a penalty.
Yeah.
And then
late penalty for Rico.
Yeah. Well, not late. 61 minutes.
Oh.
Mitoma scored right after halftime.
No, the late penalty was in another game.
Yeah, the late penalty was another game, man. Another game. Then game after that was Palace and Sunderland 0-0. Board draw. You have then the next 0-0 was Everton and Villa. Where Everton is in the table now.
Villa hasn't even
Everton 6 in the table,
Season.
Who is that?
I don't think Villa scored a goal for this.
They have not.
Villa hasn't scored a goal.
They have not.
But they have some new signings there coming in.
They look toothless so far. I think I watched that game actually.
I watched a few of the games because I had, Watkins in my fantasy team, but he has since been removed.
Yeah, he I don't know, something off with Villa, especially in the attacking areas. Probably too much change, and I don't think they get distracted. They probably wanted to they've been the way Emery moving is like he want to get rid of Watkins or he want to replace Watkins.
But he's been starting by starting by I don't think the changes should impact them. A lot of their deadline day signings haven't really kicked a ball in the league yet. So
well,
but
why?
Go ahead.
I saw some of their match on Wednesday, and Sancho and Elliott look good, so maybe they can get going this weekend.
Where they played in the Champions League.
In the
Europa?
No.
In the Carabao Cup.
In the cup. They lost to Brentford on penalties.
Was that Villa?
Yeah.
Didn't Spurs lose in the Carabao?
No, Spurs
Forest.
Spurs won the Champions League, Forest.
Yes,
Forest. Yeah. All right, the next game on the docket was Fulham against Leeds. Fulham won that game 1-0. Let me see who scored for Fulham there. Goodmanson. Yeah, that was a late own goal, boy.
Oh yes.
That gave Fulham that win.
Bounce off his head and flying the goal.
Yep. Newcastle played Wolverhampton Wanderers. Newcastle won that game 1-0.
Big striker off the mark.
Yep. Boy. Then Spurs, with light work of West Ham.
Didn't see that boy. I'll do something else.
You already know what I was going to see there.
We'll get to that.
You already know what I was going to see there. Spurs wipe the floor with West Ham. West Ham got a red card. Souček got a red card. I think that was a dangerous tackle. I saw part of that game.
For sure.
And we had Sarr, Bergval, and Van der Ven scoring for Spurs.
That Bergval kid is good.
The interesting thing about Spurs so far this season, they haven't been conceding a lot of goals. I don't know if that's the effect of the new manager or just teams they play so far, but we'll see.
And they pretty much the same set of players. I mean, who they sign? I mean, they sign Kudus.
They sign Kudus.
Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
But all them guys are attacking players. They're pretty much the same defensive team.
But their midfield unit working well together though.
The tactics under the previous manager also left them a bit open. High line,
We'll get to them tactics business in a little while. So Chelsea away to Brentford. I think that was Garnacho debut, right?
Yeah.
So the Chelsea fans, what do you think about Garnacho now? Talk to me, Rafik.
Well, I saw some commentary on social media asking for him to start after his cameo in the midweek against Bayern Munich. They say he did well on the left, keeping the ball well, driving at the defense. All things we've seen him do, for other clubs. But maybe a coach can get him doing it more consistently.
Good moments. The moments FC come from me. What do you expect? It's all right. We'll see what consistency he brings for this season. Chelsea had 2 goals. Cole Palmer off the mark, I think. That's first goal for the season, right?
Yeah.
And Caicedo had a nice finish in that game, too. A nice shot in that game as well. And it looks like Brentford stole a point in the last minutes there. I didn't see that game, but I saw parts of it.
Yes, the man,
former Liverpool player.
Man Carvalho, former Liverpool player, stepping up at the end from a long throw in. All game, this throw in, Chelsea was struggling to deliver those long throw ins. Chelsea defenders don't look. In the first goal, a ball over the top, and then there was one defender literally back there, but he just does seem to be very good at 1v1 defending.
That will be Chelsea. That will be Chelsea downfall this season.
Still.
The centre backs,
but this season
and the goalkeeper.
They might sign somebody in January, so you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have
João
Chelsea.
Pedro for another assist.
Who?
João Pedro.
We also have a fantasy partner that's also come and give us updates and things, but every time we have to come on, he have an excuse. I call the boy in him. I had a lawyer. Brad, stick on us there. Pause.
Oh, you hearing me?
Yeah, you got your camera frozen.
My screen just.
Hey, they'll come back in a little while. All right, so next game, we're just going through that because we have so many topics to cover. So Liverpool with a last-minute penalty from Mo Salah to beat Burnley away from home.
But Burnley defend like zombie in that game. Like nothing Liverpool try was getting through. I think they had Liverpool had a couple good chances. Burnley themselves had a couple good chances on the counter attack, but didn't really make much of it. And then Liverpool get a handball at the depth, and Mo Salah buried in the top corner.
Yes, it was a very dominant performance despite some comments. It's not always easy to break down this team. Sometimes you try and you get a breakthrough at the end. So, 20 something shots on target, 81% possession. We tried, we toiled, and we get the reward late through the substitutes. Some will call it luck. I like to think it's just the result of hard work and keeping at it.
Yeah, only grind them, only grind them down. It just
these things are not luck, bro. I really don't believe in things that are luck. Same like when we were winning a lot of games late back in the day. It wasn't luck. Is you keep pushing, and if you put enough pressure, the pipe will burst. So yep, and that is it still. But so Liverpool 4 games, 4 victories, top of the league.
That's right.
Salah, I think Salah had gone on a little drought, right? Before he scored in this game. I think he had like
his second.
Is his first goal for his season?
No, he scored in the opening day at the end. He scored the winner, and then Salah put the icing on the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, he caught back on the right foot. Yeah.
Well, he's had a few chances in the last couple of games, but early season still. Warming up. He had a goal in the Champions League, goal and an assist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk about the Champions League in a second, maybe.
Yeah, we're going to the Champions League. And then the last game of the weekend was the United City
The demolition derby.
Yeah. Once Pep want to get Foden back in that form, just wait for Manchester derby and put him to play. Yeah.
Yes.
And we started off the game fairly decent, I think. But again, that's a recurring theme. We start off well, but we cannot sustain ourselves throughout the game. And then the last goal really just pissed me off. I mean, we want to watch along and just turn it off, bro, because the last goal pissed me off bad, bro. I mean, that is a goal you would consider on FIFA. You know what I'm saying? Not a goal you should consider in a professional football game. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I know Webster talk about it, and I think Brad mentioned it, that we're not going nowhere far with Bruno in midfield. And so far, it's proved to be correct. And, at the same time, and Amorim has been very stubborn as Big Ange was being at Spurs. He even come out after the game and say if they want to change how they play, to change the man.
Change philosophy, not necessarily how they play. Change the philosophy.
See something
Change
so
the man.
And the manager cannot. How can the fans see so clearly what is the problem or part of the problem and the manager cannot? Or maybe it's just pride.
Yeah, he don't want to change it. I think right now we're trying to shoehorn all them attacking players that we buy there, all of them on the field at the same time, and it's not working.
And City hasn't looked good there so far this season. I mean, they looked good in the first game. They lost 2 games on the bounce. Coming into that game, you would think it would have been a closer game.
Man United is the most predictable team in the
normally in big games, they do a little better.
We are the most predictable team in the league this season.
But I would pose a question to Man United fans. That supposed tactic or formation that Amorim using, what area is it supposed to be good in? Is it supposed to be good defensively? Is it supposed to be good on offense? I still trying to identify that. If a Man United fan knows, let me know in the comments. I haven't been able to identify.
Well, you have 2 on the live there with you, and I don't think neither of us can answer it.
But the only person that know what positive that's supposed to bring is Amorim, because there's a I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why certain things have not been done, consistently. The only person who has been consistent with that formation enough to win a league is Conte. Right? Enough to win a league. You have certain teams lower down in the table or higher up in the table or above United that are playing those formations and maybe doing decent, but they're not competing for the biggest trophies, right? For the most part. There's a reason why teams play the way they do. I think I will go back to a comment I made earlier in the year, or maybe in the summer. Just like a manager at a job, right? Coaching is the same thing as far as I'm concerned. A good coach is supposed to look at the players he has and adapt to the players he has. Because no coach is going to be able to come into a club and get for example, to get what Jose Mourinho got in 2004. It's not going to happen. Right? So a coach has to come in and evaluate who he has. Now, again, you can back a coach. We have had players like Rashford. We have had players like Garnacho. We have had these guys. And whether people agree with them leaving or staying, whatever. If the coach decides, well, you know what, these are not players I want for my philosophy, okay, fine. But then we have to see certain things. And from the last year when he came in to now, with a whole summer of preseason and 4 games into this, 5 really, Grimsby game counting, we still haven't seen it. We have a striker. We just bought a young striker. And the man cannot get a proper chance to score a goal. Right? The man can't get a proper chance to score a goal. These players are not, to me, I don't say they will beat us, but when they come to United, that don't mean that they're the worst players all of a sudden. Nope. So what is going on that is preventing guys from playing at their best?
I can tell you right now, it's the manager. Ten Hag was a poor manager. Amorim is a poor manager. Ole wasn't great, but Ole was okay because I remember watching games under Ole where you play a team you're supposed to beat and they would wipe the floor with them. You'd have games Ole on the for 3-4 goals, good football. You know, he's in the bigger games, he kind of fell apart, and some games he was expected to win. But at least there were some games where a comfortable victory at home. You know, under the managers after Ole, we haven't really seen that.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't understand what Amorim doing.
But at the same time, Brad, right? And I've always said that Ten Hag was at United, kept him for 2 seasons, I think, pretty much. Give him a whole bunch of money. Bought a whole bunch of players that pretty much all the players he bought are gone now, for the most part. And waste of money. You see the decision that Leverkusen make? That's a club to me that is run as a football club. Because they realize that they make a mistake, they get rid of him. You don't want to give him millions of dollars to spend, sign players from his agency, and do them kind of nonsense. And you lose in 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Because signing 1 or 2 bad players for them kind of big money, they're pushing you back years.
Yep.
Pushing you back years. So I don't know. I feel like I like, to be honest, I like Amorim. I like how he does his interviews and all that, but we're not paying you for interviews. We're paying you for you to get the team to perform at a decent level. And everybody and their mother can see that Bruno Fernandes, if, like Brad does say, if Bruno Fernandes is our best attacking player, why is he playing in the center of the park? He should be playing where he can affect the game. He don't want to play in the center of the park, and you can see it is very obvious.
I really think that squad is more set up to play a 4-3-3 formation with pure wingers, one big man in the middle.
Or not even pure wingers, you know. Not even pure wingers. Because you can set up in a way that we have Dogu, who is an attacking left back, right? You can set it up in a way that in attack, you basically have three center backs. Mari on the right. It has so many different things you can do.
Back door of pace, though, Kerry.
I don't rate these players.
The center back door of pace, right?
I understand that. The only center back that we have that has pace is Euro. That's the only center back we have that has pace.
But over the last few seasons they've purchased center backs, but they keep buying. You have Mario, you buying De Ligt that just as slow. Where is the thought process?
Again, Brad. All of that aside, you have to work with what you have. Right now, the transfer window closed. We can't talk about the transfer window.
Nobody defensive line is slow. Nobody defensive line player.
But that is what I say, right? This system that we play in now, we play in 3 center backs, 3 center backs, 2 wing backs in that game against City. How many of those center backs actually step up to mark anybody? No.
Well, Euro was constantly
Euro did it
to drop into midfield.
Trying to drop into midfield, but it is not something that they coach to do because it's too easy for every team we play getting behind our midfield. Every single team we play.
You can see. I mean, watching the game, the midfield, because these guys don't really know what to do. The midfield so high.
Exactly.
One pass, they be in our midfield, you know.
So our five attacking players, or the front 3 and the 2 midfielders, make it a kind of a diamond and moving up, and the defense not moving up with them. So any little thing, 1-2 pass, and we're right behind the midfield, and then the defense tracking back. There's too much room there.
What is that thing about where all the first or second sub is always Harry Maguire? Whether you chasing a game,
I do not understand. I will never understand that.
And I remember another thing he doing where he feel like he have to sub a defender. I don't know why. I myself never see that.
The first one on the pitch. When you chasing a game, you have attacking players on the bench.
To me, 3 players that almost never get sub in a football game. Your 2 center backs and your goalkeeper. And every game he's subbing De Ligt to put Maguire on the field as the first sub. Why? I mean, at the end of the day, I think if Amorim carry on, you'll be out of a job in a very quick time.
By Christmas, he'll be gone.
I don't think it'll reach Christmas if he continue the way he's going there.
No, I don't say
That would be the key. Take a look at Man United bench. it's shameful.
Yeah.
After you saying on Kobe Manu, Joshua Zirkzee, it gets very bad after that. Evan,
And
Leon.
even that, right, Brad? So watching the game, Zirkzee came on against who we played before last week?
Burnley.
And you saw the impact because he's a link-up player, right? He kind of link up, hold up the ball, allow players to. He's very good at that. He not okay, maybe not the best at scoring goals, but he's good at holding the ball up, you know, linking the play. You saw the attack get a little thing. Why not? Why Zirkzee can't come off the bench and earlier? You chasing a goal.
You don't 2 in a game.
You know what I'm saying?
2-0 and 3-0, what's the difference?
Exactly.
Go for it.
I mean, listen, we'll see what happens, but
My one thing with him, he doesn't change anything in the game, you know. He doesn't change anything.
You know, Karen.
The goalkeeper is bad.
The goalkeeper bad.
Are bad.
But all of that, you buy a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper is a goalkeeper, bro.
Yep.
Put the man in the goal.
Yep.
He's the best player, I can tell you that.
So why are you buying then?
But
Exactly.
you have to ask when you meet Amorim, why you buying that? I was explaining to a fellow, another United fan in one of our group chats. You have all these keepers that are not good. Unless you're going to buy someone ready to go, proven on the biggest stage. What is the point? What is the point? You buying a young man with potential when you already have Kushner there and with potential. Why is really the point?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But all man is big man, and if that man makes a decision, you have to lie down by it. So it happened.
He will be gone by Thanksgiving.
I mean, I see Brad saying they should have got Martinez, and I was very surprised that we didn't go for man because I felt that we needed.
I think it was the wages,
Yeah, but bro, we needed a player with a big personality. We needed somebody with, that can come and that with that experience, big game player, big attitude, big
World Cup finals and such.
Them kind of thing there. We just keep on signing, bro. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, with all that said, we the Glazers in oil because we're recording big revenues, finishing 15th and we're making.
Do you realize a lot of the players they were mentioning that were part of the problem, the culture, the mentality, they are gone. They are away from the squad for a long time now, and nothing has improved.
You know what I just think of there? I realized in the preseason games, who I say Casemiro and Mino that was started in midfield, and Bruno was floating either between one of those two forward positions and then dropping back into center mid. How is it that we do all that in preseason? We don't lose in preseason, and then we start in the season with Bruno and Casemiro in the midfield.
Well, in those games you didn't have Mbeumo yet. He was still.
I was gonna say Mbeumo wasn't there,
right?
And that is one. But the other thing is the similarities they are stuck, between Amorim and Ten Hag. Remember when the man came to the States and Sancho was playing up top and Sancho was playing good.
Yes.
In the false nine.
Mm-hmm.
And the season started and Sancho can't even smell the bench.
That's what I'm telling you.
What the man doing preseason for now, really and truly? I don't understand it.
And if Bruno is an undroppable player, shouldn't you put him in the position where he can do the most good?
100%.
Now you have Meno complaining about salary because the likes of Euro and his age, he making whatever he making, and now Meno saying, he's not gonna sign a new deal unless he get X amount of money, and he can't even make it on the pitch. They're telling him he have to compete with Bruno for a spot this season. Bruno never gets dropped. United in one competition until January. One game a week.
Yeah. World Cup year.
Yeah, the only opportunity Amorim have to try things is maybe a behind closed doors friendly. But if Bruno is the best creator, the most assist machine, put him where he can impact the game.
But even for one player that has disappointed me in the end of last season and earlier this, Ahmad to me has dropped off. His quality has dropped off. I mean, you tend to get that with young players, right? You know, that is why I always say that players, you know, like I watched Rashford today. I didn't watch the game, but I watched the 2 goals he scored. And I always say players like Rashford, they're not the bad players, but they are icing on the cake. They are players you need in a team when you have the nucleus and you want somebody to kind of make a difference. They're not players that you will depend on to kind of bring the team up. You know what I'm saying? But then when you have a team where a man like you see young fellas like Ahmad and maybe Garnacho and Maino and them, and the man will go into a more settled team and they will be playing well because the pressure off them.
Yeah.
You know, just watching Man United, watching different teams. That formation Amorim playing there, those 2 midfield players, they have the completely wrong profile of player inside that midfield.
Oh, but 100%, anybody seen that?
When I play that 2 in midfield there with that back 3 and the wing backs, you need 2 players in there that have legs,
yep,
comfortable receiving that ball and keeping it. You see, like of Pedri and man like Gravenberg, they might receive a ball, turn on the ball, keep the ball, pass the ball. Bruno in that midfield, when Bruno put up his head, just try a thing, it don't work, pressure back on you. You need to keep possession in that kind of formation.
Bro, I watched Pedri very, very closely today. And Man United should bite anybody out for a play of the profile of Pedri, you know. Pedri picking up the ball on the edge of his box. And he by himself advancing the ball 50 yards, you know. Moving that ball, just touching it and moving, you know. And Newcastle can't do nothing give him.
Again, the opportunity was there in this summer to pick up at least 1 midfielder of that profile, but they go and buy 2 attacking players in positions where there was not even a need to address. You have Mount there, you had Bruno, you have other players that can play there, you have Ahmad and other players that can play there. Why go and buy 2 more fellas in them position and a striker? And now you have the midfield is the problem.
You know what I think? I think somewhere there was a plan to move Bruno on, you know. I have a feeling that there was a plan to move Bruno on, and it just didn't work out.
At the time of purchasing Cunha and Bruno, they would have known what the status of that was.
But
not Cunha, but maybe Mbeumo.
Maybe Mbeumo.
By the time we hear about that rumor of Bruno to whoever and Bruno say the club say whatever, I would assume the parties behind the scenes would have known what the decision was by that point.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Something just not sitting right. Why would you not address the midfield? And you know the midfield is an issue.
But everybody could see that way. Everybody could see that
The
way.
goalkeeper.
Everybody could see that. But I mean, even in that game against City, there, Mbeumo had at least a good shot around the defender.
Watch.
And big save.
You see, and that is the difference. That is the difference
save.
between having a great goalkeeper, a great shot stopper.
Big
Don't
save.
know where to see that ball, you know. That ball come around the defender, you know. Reflexes, pure shot stopping ability.
Boy.
And today they make another similar statement.
Send all those guys send Onana on loan. Send Onana on loan. Get the salary of the books. Get a proper keeper in it. That guy from Belgium, they never play football on the biggest stage. You bringing in more on loans. So now next summer now you don't work out. You back to square one. I'm not saying any buy is a guarantee, you know, but when you buy a man like Martinez, you know what you're getting in the Premier League. He's been in a World Cup final. He's been, you know, at least you get in the shot stopping ability. You get the seniority. You know, you feel comfortable to shot being a defender. Bayern, they run the man, they're afraid. The man timid. Waste of time.
Yeah, it's bad, boy. It's bad. But anyway,
I'm more him a chance, man. About extend the contract and give him a chance. That fire man is business.
I see. Would I say that Callum John will say 15 more years?
Yeah.
It is. Well, I seen some comments in the chat there. Let me just go through them. Brad said he might have the worst percentage in Man U history and
worse since
Moyes manager
since World War II.
But God, he say all of the clubs getting good managers. Liverpool get 2 good managers back to back. Klopp and Arne Slot. Man, you just keep recruiting trash.
Boy.
We're looking like any custard biscuit. Amanda was doing one, that's Brentford.
I really thought Ten Hag would have done better given the job he did at Ajax, but I see enough for that man to know.
Bro, Now, there's something fundamentally wrong at the club, and I don't think I
You don't think?
I
You
don't
don't think?
know. I don't know what it is in terms of like these managers buying, getting players, and then forced
I
to
don't
try
want
to
to
fix
teach you, okay.
What's
I
that?
told you, Man United had a structure in place that did not change with the times. Fergie was the godfather, and everything go through Fergie, and it worked at the time, but they never really consider changing that as modern football change. So right now, a lot of the people they have in place are just incompetent. The football people behind the scenes, the hierarchy, they are just incompetent. So they try in these things and it's not working, but they don't know what they're doing. They try and they hope. They hire a man from Newcastle because he wanted to hire Southgate, and they disagree on that. They fire him. They'll pay him compensation. Maybe all would have been better off with Southgate. Who knows?
Possibly. Brad, you counting? You sure you want to count? You sure you want to count?
I'd 10 on that for Arsenal or what?
All right, cool. That's all.
Yeah, but all right. So let's talk a little bit about the Champions League. I mean, all you can kind of go with it. I didn't really watch, like I said, too many of the games. But what were the standout games in the Champions League?
Well,
go for it, Brad. You can start.
I would say on Tuesday, the Arsenal game was a good game. It was kind of tight, and then the subs make the difference. Arsenal this season have, even with Saka being out, have the ability to bring on, Martinelli, Trossard, as subs, and that's what a big club is supposed to do. Quality is supposed to be coming on to replace quality. So Arsenal looking good so far this season. That was a good game. On Wednesday, Liverpool.
Don't forget the Juve Dortmund.
Oh yeah, Juve and Dortmund.
That was a crazy game. All them goals scored in the second half of the game,
Yeah.
8 goals in the second half of the game. The back and forth. And you scored two in the 90 plus 4. 90 plus 4, 90 plus 6 to equalize.
Yeah. Wednesday.
I saw some of the Madrid and
then the Madrid volley game.
Marseille were hard done by, and the manager, former Brighton manager, was very upset, and I agree with him. I would have seen more than he said in his interview, but a man sit down on the ground essentially, and a ball hit him in the back of his shoulder, and you call it a penalty.
I watched that. That can never be a penalty. And the next morning, I started next to a partner talking about the game, and the man say, "Yeah, man, it was definitely a penalty." I say,
"Nah, but I feel like
I just think like I don't know people, but nah, for you to watch it and see that definitely be a penalty. That
kind of decision can be the difference between making it to the group.
Yep.
100%.
Away from home there, they get a point there in the league stage.
Yeah. But we had a game on Wednesday, and we had some fans who were saying they were going to go to Germany and wipe the floor with Bayern, man. They said, and I quote, they said, rinse on Bayern. They said, rinse. But it didn't turn out that way. With Chelsea, because of the success towards the end of last season and the Club World Cup, they come into the season thinking that they were just going to kick on. But football is a funny game. So, and Bayern is a strong team. You go to Bayern away from home, you have to be on your game. Yeah, and Chelsea didn't play a bad game, and Chelsea were, to me, the better team in the first half. They were in the game throughout, but it comes down to moments and Harry Kane,
Harold Kane, boy.
Yeah.
And then at that point in the game, you can make mistakes and give Harry Kane a clear chance like that.
Olise is just a gem. Now I'm doing what you want on that right side there.
Yep. Yeah. But that goal Palmer scored here. Palmer basically tell Mister, put that ball back right there.
Yeah.
That like the sequence of passing was like that is the only choice.
Yeah.
Who was it? Whoever that passing the ball there.
Yeah, and then we had a interesting game at Anfield. 2 early goals, and then we let them back into the game. Familiar theme so far this season, but
Again,
like against Burnley,
another late one.
try eventually you get a breakthrough. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But we were able to get the go-ahead goal late again. Isak made his debut. He looked good, look a little bit rusty, to be expected. He didn't have a preseason, just a week of training, but I think he'll do well for us. He's looking good. Ekitike looks good as well. I don't know what the manager planned to do going forward with those two. Maybe one of them will play wide where needed, but
Boy.
I'll be probably to have at the end of the day as a coach.
I guess. So and then today had a couple games, right? Newcastle,
Yeah,
Newcastle,
against Barcelona.
Leverkusen, draw with Copenhagen.
KDB made his return to the Etihad. Didn't last long thanks to a red card.
Boy, imagine I saw that tackle and I checking good tackle there.
Yeah,
But Haaland by that fall was.
yeah. I was disappointed, man. I was looking forward to a good game. The two managers were playing a similar formation. It was going to be interesting, but the red card basically solved the game.
Kill the game.
Bro, look, Napoli had one shot.
No, well, naturally, because City had all the ball.
The red card was 20 something minute.
Ruben Diaz was crossing from 30 yards out, crossing the ball from the wing, 30 yards out. Napoli couldn't get out. Like there was nothing else that was going to happen in that game.
Newcastle was undone by the man, the myth, the legend, Marcus Rashford. Nice header and then a good long shot.
Yeah. I think on that header, I think you see the what was it? A shot Rashford hit earlier, hit Shah in his head, and it shook him up. Since then, Mr. wasn't moving well, and Shah was marking Rashford, at that point. I think
if it's one thing he can do, kick the ball hard.
What was interesting with Rashford, a lot of times I saw him making some really good diagonal crossfield balls to the other side, and early too, like to spring up attack. I didn't really see that in his game a lot at his previous clubs, but
when your team set up for it and you know that is what you have to do and you're getting instructions to do that, because Rafinha was staying high and wide on the right whole game. I don't think Rafinha ever crossed back into his half.
Rafinha had a really good game. He didn't score,
but he caused trouble because he pinned Newcastle back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, he just barrage. But that second goal, clean strike.
Yeah,
clean.
Maybe there's life yet in the old Rashford dog. Maybe there's a future for him in England.
Well, I mean, remember World Cup coming,
and the England manager was in attendance.
And fellas motivated for Barca to keep them, so fellas going to perform.
Correct.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was the Champions League, and Micah was back in Micah and Thierry and Micah had his own little plea to Kylian. He miss him and he want to see him, and I say, well, if them Dash watch the interview, all them Dash be saying is pause.
Pause. Not all of our viewers are getting the same CL coverage, so some of them might not even know what we're talking about.
Yeah. That is true.
Well, go on YouTube and check out what do you call it? CBS Sports, yeah, and look for them video clips with Thierry Henry and Jimmy Carragher and Micah.
That show is just vibes. It's just vibes.
Yeah. Pure comedy, but it's a nice vibe. They are good dynamic.
But they're going to shoot it today live on TV.
You are making big noise with Katie boy checking how Kylian do go on the mic and talk to them, and I was sick. Always Anita alone talking to. Boy. Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about the games coming up this weekend. So to kick off the Saturday morning, Merseyside derby, Liverpool Everton at Anfield.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go into the 10 o'clock kickoff. So we have Brighton and Spurs. Brighton hosting Spurs, Burnley hosting Forest, West Ham hosts Crystal Palace, and Wolves host Leeds.
Wolves in a
And
bad way, you know.
yeah, boy. Wolves
Wolves
and
in a
West Ham,
bad way.
they don't looking too good now.
Mm-hmm.
I see Gali say predict the next game there. Chelsea 4-0.
Well, oh, they don't go and take Wolves' best player. Nah? They must be in a bad way. Or at least they're still in a bad way.
Garnacho gonna play against his former team at 12:30. You know, at Old Trafford. At Old Trafford, you know, we might see if we can get a point, man, or something like that. You know, you never know. I don't know. I don't feel so good.
I don't see it now.
We'll see. And
Give
remember,
it a chance.
Cole Palmer is a United fan. You might give us a chance.
If you want to
You
get
don't give us a chance last year, nah?
a boost in fantasy this weekend, Captain Cole Palmer. This weekend.
And then the 3:00 kickoff is Fulham hosting Brentford.
Yeah.
That's all the games on Saturday. Then Sunday we have Bournemouth hosts Newcastle at 9:00. 2 games at 9:00. Bournemouth hosts Newcastle, and then Sunderland hosting Aston Villa at 9. And 11:30, biggest game of the weekend, Arsenal against Man City. So Arsenal fans, give me all the prediction in the chat there. That game, all you have to go, all you have to beat City. I mean, all you at home, all you have everything. You know, all you have all the
You have to show you intent.
Yeah,
I would like to see Arsenal manager be a little more brave on the attack this game.
And City they're probably taking in.
This is where you have to show that this season you're different. You're going for the title. Remember, sometimes I'm going to celebrate a draw against City like it was some type of historic win or something, you know?
Yep. And then they proceed to do what in a couple games after that?
Exactly.
All right. Hey, Brad, good. Brad, what's your prediction?
I don't see in I don't see in Brad, I don't see in Shane, I don't see in any prediction. What are the predictions?
They were just there 3 minutes ago.
A while ago, they only talked about Rashford United. They all of them inside their commenting. Come and give all you prediction.
Brad going to say Arteta out.
Yeah, so that game might be a scrappy 1-0 because when the manager coming up against the best team here, coward, go ultra defensive. 5-1 to Hushin. Another 5-1 to who?
Arsenal beat them 5-1.
Well, yeah, I want him to say that. I want to see it for if he did not get beat 5-1, he might say his City you're talking about. So, all right. I mean, who else? Anybody? Any other predictions? I know the Arsenal fans getting their predictions. What are you fellas saying?
I saying 2-2. I think Arteta just not the type of manager to go there and say, let's go for it, let's go for the win. So they're going to react to City. City will always be on the front foot. And Arsenal will react. I cannot see it any other way.
In 2-1 to City.
Really?
I was gonna go for a 1-1 draw, you know. Like it will be a tight game. But I don't think that many goals. So I see Gali desperate to talk about the FPL there.
Yeah, he on top.
Let me bring up.
All weekend he's saying his points in a group chat. I hope you're up there in the second half of the season.
He's flying there. He get the big points all this week.
Brad say Martinelli, Gyökeres, Madueke, and Eze and the 10. If that happens, we'll win 2 or 3-0. Wow. All right. All right. So let's go over the Talk the Thing League now. So after 4 game weeks,
why?
We have Jan Boston in. Boy, that's a big game week, boy.
Mr. Gali.
Flipping 98 points. Wow. Top of the league. Then we have Fox in second.
I fall down flat, boy.
Oh, let me see. Who else there? We have boy.
You have Webster in 10.
I see Webster get 94 points. That's a big haul this weekend.
Yeah.
Then we have who else we have there? Boy, I seen Brad 18.
Yeah,
Bah.
right. 18, boy.
I seen the guru,
Esther, wow.
the Estewao in relegation position, 20th.
If in relegation position, where am I?
Win, boy. Remember that you in League 2?
Jeez. But you're not you but
Oh, we
you
have
talking
special mention. Special
you
mention.
talking that you just above me, you know.
Special mention to the man Gonahan that is bringing up the rear one before the last. Gonahan. Mr. Henny Parilo.
Boy.
Just above me there.
Remember that you that say where you are, you know. If you in League 2 and League 1, you the cutoff is 27, you know.
Yeah,
But don't fret, man. I feel a lot of fellas all you see in the top 10 there is down to luck. Fellas have man like Zubamendi in their team as like just a cheap option to make up the numbers and then end up getting a goal, them kind of thing. Over the course of the season, them things that's even themselves out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But you know what I think going to tip the scales a little bit, the defensive contributions.
Yeah.
Over this season, players that get a lot of defensive contribution will pick up a lot more points. So I think I myself might want to start factoring that in.
Yeah. But the main man there, Rafik Esther, wow, he's not looking too good so far, but
Yeah,
it's a for another sprint.
I see Gonahan, like Brad said, bringing up the
Right.
But big up Gali, man, on the top of the league there, man. That man said he's taking everything.
Yeah, man. Big up.
I'm looking for Ronald Davis as well. I'll give him a mention. I'm looking for him. The first game week he was up there. He started to slide.
Ronald Davis, I see the name, you know.
Top performers so far.
7.
Yeah.
From in each position, we have Haaland with 47 points, João Pedro 43 points for the strikers. Semenyo top in the midfielders, 46 points. Enzo 29 points. Caicedo 29 points, and Zubimendi 25 points. All defensive, quote-unquote, defensive midfielders. Huh?
I put Semenyo in the team and I remove him.
Wow.
I never take that man. I
don't think I take anymore. No?
Go one's removing Watkins. Best thing I ever do.
Nah, Watkins. But brother, I see you saying FPL thing is too much patience. The game gonna play anyway. You know? He just fixed it. I see Brad in the chat there saying FPL is too much patience. The game gonna play anyway, so just fix your team and leave it.
All you have to do is check it just once a week, you know.
Once a week.
5 minutes.
Once a week, check it. Do it for the days. And you're good.
But it's all right, man. You wouldn't just like a manager wouldn't win anything for you.
Why does it mash up the FPL for me? Is you see like Christmas time where they're having game like every 2 days.
Yeah.
Boy, you have to stay on top of it.
That thing, boy. It's forgetting
You
that.
have to.
Yeah, the Giant Killers Grimsby still in the Carabao Cup. They won again this week.
Yeah, against Sheffield Wednesday.
They had it, all the eligible players this time.
Yeah. Some of the bigger teams will be in action next week in the Carabao Cup as well.
The third round.
Yeah. That's where big teams enter the competition normally.
Normally, yeah.
Yeah, teams enter any competition before schools even start back. That's unheard of, you know, but
Well, entering and exiting, eh?
and exiting.
Correct.
Yeah, well, listen, man. Listen. Our dog have his day and trust me, they not nowhere close. They will go in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, glory, Man United. You know, you're sticking for a team to thick and thin. You know, I just happy. The thing is, I just happy that at my age that I was able to see us in some glory days. You know, because
just don't burden your son with that thing. Let him choose for himself. Let him spread his wings.
Boy,
of torture.
No man, the man have his juice here already. You know, the man.
I have been this weekend though, and I feel like the pressure might tip the scales and discussions might start being had.
But discussions were had already, bro. They say Ratcliffe was at this training ground today, you know, in his shop.
Bro,
I feel that's more concern for the tea lady, for the manager.
You know what? Let me see what our fixtures are. The fixtures are getting any easier, you know, for United.
We're always gonna have a tough start to the season, you know, fixture wise.
Arsenal.
We have Liverpool soon, October or November.
October, I think something in October.
Those games, their form goes out the window, and you know.
Form goes out the window.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
matches.
The next game we have Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland,
then Liverpool,
Brighton.
Then Brighton.
We're getting about 2 points in that run.
2 points. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, for
Anyway.
us, man, big Ange. That's what we do, mate.
I always win something my second season. And remember, them TV shows is always the best in their first season.
Yeah.
Well, that's before they get cancelled. They don't get cancelled.
Because we'll get rid of Big Ange by Christmas. He'll be gone soon.
I suspect that.
Yeah.
But anyway, fellas, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Already.
We will
Thanks
see.
for the-
We will
thanks
see.
for the-
We do not watch along now this weekend. But that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
don't do the watch along, you know. I want more people on the watch along. Anybody want to join the watch along? Come on the watch along and let's talk and let's enjoy ourselves.
Game. Yeah, I'll join that one, man.
Let's do a watch along, man. You know, anybody want to join the watch along? Let me know. I'll share the link. You know, you can jump on with us. You can watch the game.
While we watch the game and free up away.
Yeah. But
Yes.
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the engagement, everybody. You know, really appreciate it. And we have some merch coming soon, as you guys can see. You know, we have the bucket hat and we have some shirts and we have all kinds of- you know, let's support the vibes, you know, because we're trying and keep it coming. You know, we have now another announcement. We have the original Talk the Thing coming back soon. You know, we just kind of lining up things and but we're gonna keep the sports going and everything like that.
Share
You know?
sports thinking all the group chat where you're arguing football. Share it.
Yeah, man, share that, man. Share the link, share the live, and then you know we want people to come on and give their views too. If you're talking Magi, come on, tell us you're talking Magi. You know, don't feel afraid.
Like when I say Arsenal can win the league this season, them fellas in the comments say I smoking pencil shavings. Man.
This side. All right,
Yeah.
let's take it easy.